Well, Niranjali Amerasinghe is the Executive Director of ActionAid USA. She's an expert on climate change and finance and joins us now from Washington. Ms. Amerasinghe, a very good evening to you there in DC. We've had various pledges, various promises, lots of positive noises and a draft agreement. What are your hopes of an actual, real, final agreement at the end of Friday?
Well, that remains to be seen, obviously. Things are in the backdoor negotiations, ministers are involved at this point. And the real question, though, is whether there will be enough ambition. And what we have seen so far at the conference is worrying, because we have not seen the kind of ambition that is needed to keep global temperature rise to manageable levels. And in particular, we see this in the context of finance, where we are not seeing rich countries put enough finance on the table.
Well, that does seem to be one of the main sticking points, and for understandable reasons. This goal of $100 billion a year was made back in 2009, still not happened. Various other financial commitments that the developing world in particular are looking for. Are we going to get past this impasse of rich countries not seeming to be wanting to stump up the cash to help poorer nations?
Well, one of the heartening things that we've seen at this conference, and certainly in the last few years, is the increase in public pressure on rich governments in particular to do more to address climate change, both in terms of emission reductions, but also in terms of ramping up finance. So their citizens are telling them, you have to, right? The message is clear. You cannot leave communities at the front lines of the climate crisis behind. And that is going to require huge amounts of finance flowing to developing countries to help them address this crisis. So there are countries now that are at a point where their citizens are saying, this is not good enough. And that pressure is hopefully something that will unlock the reticence of some governments and the United States in particular in putting more money on the table.
Are there any countries or blocs that you would like to see doing more and agreeing to more at COP26?
Well, the United States is the biggest one. The United States is the world's largest historical emitter, and so far has not done a whole lot to really show that they are real leaders in this space in terms of actual emission reductions delivered and money on the table. And I'll give credit where it's due. The Biden administration has certainly taken some steps in trying to come up with deepened cuts and put more money on the table, but it is not nearly what we need when you think about the fair share that the United States needs to do to help solve this crisis.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Niranjali Amerasinghe from ActionAid USA, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much.